Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Christ-Centered Yoga this morning. This is an exciting day because next week we're going to be meeting in person at Francis Asbury Methodist and United Methodist in Virginia Beach. I know some of you have been practicing remotely, and I so appreciate your presence. So soon as I can get that part of it together, I'm hoping to, Zoom from there also. So we'll have a live class with a Zoom class at the same time. So say a prayer for me about that, that we can figure that out. I don't think it'll be too difficult. So I look forward to coming back and offering new classes on YouTube and Zoom as soon as I can. So today, thinking about for our class how every week during our introduction and when we're making our journey to this space from wherever we've been before, that we say that in this sacred space we are seen and known and loved and held. And those things are just wonderful things to think about. But I started thinking about what's the scriptural basis for that? What word has God given us to say that those things really are taking place right now? So I'm going to share with you today in 4 different segments of scripture, the scriptures that came to mind when I meditated on that concept of being seen and known and loved and held. And I'm sure that you can come up with instances in your own lives when those things have been very apparent to you. Maybe you can think of more scriptures, and I just wish we had, a whole semester to ponder those things. But what we have this morning is about an hour to do that. So, and what a great way to spend an hour on a Tuesday morning. Just think about being seen and known and loved and held by the great loving creator of the universe, the creator of your body, your heart, your soul, your mind, who knows you completely. So that's what we're going to do this morning, and I hope that suits. If it doesn't, then you can just go wherever you need to go and enjoy yourself, enjoy the movement, enjoy the breath. As always, to begin, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and rest back and lie down in a way that's comfortable for you. If you have a couple of blankets, that would be great, a couple of towels or a bolster, kitchen chair. If you're watching this on a recording, you can pause now, go get a couple of towels or blankets and a little chair, which we'll use later. It's been a wonderful season. It's been 18 or 19 months that we've been practicing from this sweet little space. I give thanks for every moment, for the opportunity, and for all the ways that God has blessed us in this space. So I invite you to notice again, and I'm not saying maybe this won't be the last time we'll do this, but it certainly is always wonderful to notice where you are and how your space has supported you through this season. What are those things around you that bring you comfort, to let you know that you are at home? Just look. And then drawing your gaze to center, closing your eyes if that's comfortable. As always, if it isn't comfortable, just allowing your gaze to soften and begin to listen to sounds in your environment, outside, inside, quiet as a mouse sounds and loud sounds, whatever you hear, just listen. And whatever we hear, remembering that it is the sound of the sacred ordinary. All the things that go on around us every day, God moving in people, creation at work and at play, animals maybe, all of creation moving and living around us. And then sending thoughts out into this space. And this is where we were reminded that in this space you are seen, you are known, you are loved, and you are held in sacred space. And from the get-go, just noticing how that registers with you today. Is that something that makes sense? Maybe it's just a thought. It's okay. And then you'll notice your body resting here, making yourself more comfortable if you can. Noticing what little shifts might need to take place, what little adjustments to your clothing, your position. And whatever you've brought with you today in your body, please honor that. Know that there's no judgment. So if what we're doing doesn't serve you, please take a rest, take a child's pose, take a breath. Just sit, stand, run around, do whatever you need to do. But do what serves you today and what your body's telling you your body needs. So I hope you'll honor that today. So allowing yourself to rest down into your space, feeling the floor come up to meet you, allowing your back body to settle, front body to soften. We'll begin to notice our breath. And how does your breath feel today? Simply notice your breath moving in, your breath moving out. And as you notice your breath moving in, notice where you feel it in your body. Maybe deepening your breath a little bit. Feeling a little bit more expansion in your chest, your belly. And noticing if you can become aware of a sense of expansion throughout your body, through your limbs, maybe all the way to your fingertips and beyond. Maybe down through your legs, out through the soles of your feet and your toes, and up through into your brain. Just think about that oxygen, life-giving breath moving all through your body this morning. And gradually lengthening out your inhale as you soften through your belly, soften in the chest and ribs. Just let it all open on your inhale, and then allow everything to gently settle on your exhale. And as you come to an awareness of your body breathing, maybe we can turn that awareness around and you can become the witness to yourself. You can see yourself internally. You can maybe imagine yourself externally. What would it be like to have your gaze upon yourself? Be the witness of yourself breathing out, in and out. And in this space, we'll step into an awareness of God seeing us. In the book of Genesis, one of Abraham and Sarah's servants was Hagar. And at one time she was cast out into the wilderness. It's a very sad story, really, of jealousy, rejection by her mistress Sarah. But as she gets out into the wilderness, God appears to her and calls her by name. And she says that, "You are the God who sees me." And she referred to God as El Rai. It's spelled R-O-I, but it's pronounced El Rai. El Rai, the God who sees me. It's a wonderful way to think of God. El Rai, when you think about God seeing us, knowing where we are, knowing our trials, knowing what lies ahead of us, knowing what blessings God has for us. El Roi sees you. And I also have some scripture from Psalm 139. It's verses 7 through 12. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. So no matter where we are, God sees us. He knows what we're about, what's happening to us. One time I was in church after a very traumatic time in my life, and there was a man behind me in the congregation who I was aware of, chuckling throughout the sermon. Like, it was just my little antennas turned around toward this fellow behind me. And at the end of the service, as we walked to the end of our row of seats, we came upon each other. And he said, yes, it was a wonderful service, wasn't it? And I said, oh, it was glorious. I wish everybody could just stand on their seat and worship. And he said to me, as we walked along, he said, I saw your reaction. I know who you are. And then he disappeared into the crowd and left. And I didn't have a chance to respond. I was just left puzzling. You see me? You know who I am? And it dawned on me that that was an angel. God saying, I see you, I know your heart. So I invite you to join me today in the knowledge that you are seen. What is that like for you today, to be seen? Know that your Creator sees you, loves you, holds you. You are seen today. So as we carry that thought with us, perhaps, maybe we can just take a big stretch and know that we are seen in our stretch. And as we move through our postures today, as we go through our flow and feel our body moving, we are seen. God knows where all these things are taking our heart, our soul, our mind, our bodies. So just stretch out in any way that feels right for you. And then we'll gently draw knees into our chest and rock in any way that feels comfortable. So I invite you today, as you listen to the sounds around you, to listen to the sound within of your body talking to you on your mat as you move. So we're drawing knees in, maybe rocking around a little bit. And we'll plant the soles of the feet on the mat. Take a moment to notice how you feel here. Your knees are bent, so the soles of your feet are on the floor. Feel the soles of your feet pressing in gently, maybe even squish your toes around a little bit, maybe march a little bit, just gently to plant the feet in, maybe just swivel the knees side to side a little bit. And then come to center. And we'll take our arms on our next inhale and just sweep them overhead. And on your exhale, just settle them back down. Just bring them up and over and down by your side again. So we'll inhale, reach the arms up over our heads. And exhale, bring the arms up and then let them rest down by your side. And then turn your palms up, and then let's take a sweeping motion as we do in a sun salutation. So as we, like a snow angel. So you'll turn your palms up. Let's sweep the arms out just above the floor, over our head, noticing how your shoulders feel here, how your chest feels. And on your exhale, allow your arms to sweep back down by your side. And we'll do that again a couple of times. Inhaling, when you're ready, take your arms up, sweep them over your head. Exhale, sweep them down. A couple more times in silence at your own pace, following your breath. Can you feel your body expanding with the inhale, floating your arms up? Settling your arms back down by your side on your exhale. And then just rest here with arms up, chest open. Breathe, send a big deep breath into your belly. Ribs and heart, just open up your whole torso there with the breath, and then exhale, let it all out. And as you exhale, let your back completely settle. Maybe take your arms across your chest and let your shoulders rest down. Let the back of your neck lengthen. A couple of good deep breaths here as the back completely rests. And then when you're ready on your exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. It doesn't really matter which one. You can catch it on the top of your knee. You can bring your hands around underneath your knee. Take the sole of your right foot, press it out, and spread your toes. And we'll stretch out the left leg now. So stretching out through the left leg, both your feet are open. Maybe circle out through the ankles a little bit in whatever way feels right. It can be slow, fast, whatever. Just listen to your ankles and just let them go either way, back and forth. And flex and point a little here. Breathe. Getting the motion going here, getting some lubrication going through the ankles and the toes. And then on your inhale, stretch the right leg up, supporting behind your leg. And take the toes back towards you a little bit in a flex. Woo. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards you again. So the left leg is stretching out. On your inhale, right foot presses up, the knee lengthens there. And exhale, draw your knee in. Inhale, left. Exhale, draw it in. And inhale, lift up one more time. Press up. Shoulders are relaxing down, pouring into the mat. And then let's just flex and point through your feet again. Nice luxurious flex and point, really feeling each part of the motion there. And then gently draw the knee in towards you. So if you want to hold on to the underneath your knee there, you can just do that and draw the knee in a little closer. If you'd like to reach up and take hold of the pinky toe tight of your foot, pinky toe, yes, side, draw the knee in, maybe towards your underarm area or out to the side just a little bit. We're going into half happy baby here. So it's like you're in a half squat here, or a lunge almost, really. You have your left leg reaching out, right knee coming in, shoulders are soft. And breathe. Notice how, as you breathe in, you might become aware of the forward part of your left hip, the hip flexor area, right through the front of your hip pointer there. See how that feels. Draw the right knee in a little closer if you can. And then we'll release that foot, take it down. And take other knee in, catch it in your hands behind the knee. Probably is better, just so that you can support the leg without stressing out the flexion of your knee. So just come around behind the left knee, stretching out through the right leg now. And notice if this side feels any different than the other side. Maybe we're a little bit more open on one side than the other. And then just flex and point through your ankles, toes, circling out through the ankles here. And other way, just whatever suits. Notice when you're ready to change directions, just kind of play with that. Big breath in. On your exhale, just relaxing. And then we'll, on your inhale, take the sole of your left foot up to the sky, check in. On your exhale, draw the knee in. And with awareness, on your inhale, lengthen out through your left leg, press the sole of your foot up. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale up. There's something about Tuesday morning. Monday's usually kind of busy and after the weekend. And then by Tuesday morning when we get here, I don't know about you, but I'm really checking in and oh Lordy, I need this. So maybe you do too, and I hope it's serving you. So as we have that leg up, let's flex and point again. Notice how you feel through your Achilles tendon right in the back of your heel and calf there. And circle out again. Make some little circles there. And then on your inhale, let's press up. Exhale, draw the knee in. And once again, you can support behind the knee and just gently explore pulling the knee into your chest. You can reach up, take hold of the pinky toe side of this foot. Draw that knee in towards your underarm area or shoulder. And this is once again half happy baby. So you're pressing out long through the right leg. And then come to an awareness of your body. Just come to a very wide awake awareness and recognizing how you feel inside. Notice the back or the hamstring area of your left leg. So the knee is bent. Focus on softening through that hamstring, the back of your thigh. And then, if you can, snuggling that knee in a little closer as you press out long through the right leg. And breathe. And then gently releasing the left leg, plant the sole of the left foot on the mat. Bend the right knee in to meet the left, so both knees are bent now. And we're going to separate the knees to the outer edge of the mat. Take your arms out side to side in a T shape there. And gently rock side to side. So you'll just slowly drop your knees to the right. Just let them plop all the way over. Follow with your body. And notice how you're feeling inside here. Notice how the front of your left hip feels. Maybe tuck the hips under. Press the hips through a little bit. Breathe. You might notice that that begins to open the front of your left thigh. And on your next exhale, we'll just soften down to center. And stay here for your next inhale. And we'll exhale over the other way. Notice how this side's resting. Tucking your tail a little bit, maybe lifting up through the right hip and pressing through the right thigh. You can feel that right thigh begin to open maybe a little bit, but only take it to your level of comfort. Don't force or strain. Notice the openness of your heart here. Breathe. And on your next exhale, settling your hips back down, let the knees come to center, and then just rock them gently side to side. Just let them find a easy motion, small, big, whatever feels right. Easy breath. And we'll come back to center here. Let's just, for fun, take our hands to our scalp. Give your head a little rub. Massage your scalp all around. So we open the soles of our feet. It's only fair that we work the other end now and open up the scalp. Maybe around the back of your neck as well. Just notice any places that might need a little bit more opening, a little more pressure or whatever, a little bigger circles, smaller circles, pressing in, lightening up, whatever feels good. And breathe through this. So you're breathing some life and health, circulation into your scalp, all the muscles around your skull. Come to your ears, give your ears a little rub. Breathe. And then take the tops of your ears, your earlobes, and tug them gently up toward the top of your head. So you're bringing them straight up to the top of your head. Take a breath. Exhale and soften. Notice how it feels to do this lying down. We usually are sitting up or standing. So let's pull the ears out directly side to side now. Take an inhale here. And take your earlobes, draw them down towards your shoulders. Breathe. And then we'll take our peace fingers, so like your little bunny ear fingers here, and we'll put the one ear in front, one finger in front of your ear, one behind, and just massage in front and behind your ear. And breathe. And then take your fingers and interlace them across your forehead, and then just draw your hands side to side, releasing tension in your brow. Breathing in. Good. Good. So let's draw the knees into our chest. Rock over onto your side toward the screen and just stay there for a moment of regrouping. And then we'll slowly come up to sitting. Find your way up. If you have a pillow, a blanket, or a towel that you would like to perch on, I invite you to do that. Here's your little perch. And we'll sit our bum back on it. Just take the sit bones just up on the blanket. And so sitting up nice and tall. See how it feels to ground through your hips, lift up through the heart, just the broadness and easiness of the chest. You can play with that, just rolling the shoulders up and gently back. And notice that gentle expansion through the pectoral muscles. You're just broadening. Whew. Bring in a little breath in there. Maybe just take your head side to side, kind of get here, you know. And so we'll come to sitting. Take your hands to your knees. Take a breath here. On your exhale, we'll shift to the right and circle around. So we're just circling around on the sit bones, around onto your little circle of seat there, in the perineal area. I'm just going to rock it around in any way that feels good, but you're focusing on that sitting area. And other way. It always brings to mind a comedian who I heard one time. You may have heard me say this before. I'm not going to say the whole thing right now, the whole routine, but she talks about how women don't often have names for their sitting area, their bottom, their genital area, but she said you very seldom hear a woman say something like, "I'm sitting on Margaret." So just a little food for thought there today. Are you sitting on Margaret? Oh Lord, here we go. Let's come around to the front and we'll sit up tall, and then on your exhale, just rounding Margaret underneath here. And inhale, sit up on Margaret, let your chest lift. And exhale down. So we're just doing a little seated cat-cow to open the spine, open the heart, working on the sacral area. Just letting the spine undulate back and forth, waking it up. So we're energizing as we lift, resting as we push back. Follow your own breath, your own pace. A couple more times. And inhale, sit up tall. Let's open the heart on your inhale. On your exhale, give yourself a hug. Let your chin just drop down to your chest. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, hug. So we're offering our heart to God, to the world on our inhale, and then we're gathering in that love and affection on the exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, come on in. Sometimes we feel like we're capable. We just keep the arms out. Our hearts are feeling open and wide and safe sometimes. Sometimes we are just out there, ready to offer, ready to serve. But sometimes we just have to gather in and take a moment to be nurtured. We have to gather ourselves into ourselves. We have to let God come in, nurture our hearts, nurture our bodies. Breathe. Sometimes we just have to be silent. So let's just be there for a moment. Breathe, quiet, rest. Shoulders are soft. face is soft. Even though the spine lifts, your heart is gathered in. Now taking your hands down to your knees. We'll do lion's breath to open the throat area. On your inhale, let's open our, take an inhale, yes, take a deep inhale. Exhale, mouth opens, tongue comes out, eyes look up. Last time. And then quiet your face, soften your jaw. How does the energy feel moving through your body, moving through your neck, your shoulders, your arms, hands? So being mindful now again of being seated, so we're balancing out between our groundedness. We're pulling energy up from that groundedness, lifting up through the spine, coming up to the forehead, and pulling side to side, opening. So we're opening the mind, opening thoughts to God's presence. So this is that ether area of the elements that we're coming up and allowing just that kind of nebulous part of our being to soften, come apart, and we'll move all across the scalp, front to back. It's just about brushing off negative thought, welcoming in God's presence all through those crown areas, all down through the body to the more animal areas, the groundedness, the feeling stable on the earth, to the water element, to fire element, and then to the air element, and then up to the ethers, just working our way up. So we're going to turn the palms up and press up on our inhale. So we're balancing out that connection with the ethers with the connection with the ground, and that's how we grow way up and down. So on your next inhale, press on up. Settle on down on your exhale. Breathing it in, settling out. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, release. Taking your hands to your knees, shoulders, release. Good. So where are we now? Okay, so let's just take the legs out for a second. And we'll reach forward, give yourself a little massage up your legs. Any chance you get, anytime during our practice when you have a chance to take your hands on your legs, on yourself, anywhere when we're moving from one place to another, maybe you can remember to do that a little bit, just to come home to this body of life that we've been given. This is where we carry the heart. This is where we carry our soul, our mind, our thoughts, our strength. It all gathers into this physical body, that we carry all of it with us. So it's good to just come home to that and know that we are seen, you are seen, you are known, you are loved, you are held. So let's come around to all fours. And let's see, what are we going to do there, folks? We're going to come to table position. And a couple of cat-cows here, but mostly, since we've done a little bit of cat-cow sitting, we're going to take a little bit of cat bow, and I'll show you how this works. It's a little strengthening for the core, strengthening for the arms. You can take it or leave it. You can just go to child's pose, come up to table if you like, back to child's pose. It's a little flow back and forth. We're going to add just a little lowering of the chest. So when you're in table and you're going to lower forward, what we need to think about is keeping the shoulders broad, the elbows by your underneath the shoulders here. And we're just going to take a little bow like this, so we don't just drop in between the shoulders, and we're not rounding. We're just shifting forward. See how the chest is wide, and then you'll press into the floor, come back up, and then round back into child's pose. So let me translate that to cat bow. Okay. So when you're in table here, you're going to scoot forward just a little bit into a modified plank. Fingers are spread, shoulders are broad like I just showed you. We'll take a breath here. On your exhale, we'll just go down into a little half push-up, being mindful that you keep those shoulders back in the sockets. You're not settling between them. Come down. On your inhale, press up. Tuck your tail and exhale back to child's pose. In any way that feels right. We're not going to stay here. We're just going to keep your tail tucked, round up through your cat, stabilize your shoulders, shift forward, take your hands forward, exhale into a little bow, inhale, come up, exhale into child's pose. Just remember, you don't have to do the push-up. You can just rise and then come back. So on your inhale, you're going to reach way forward, round up, lengthen your spine through from your head to your tailbone, take a little bow, come on up, round back into child's pose. Inhaling, come on up, rise up, broaden your shoulders, bend through the elbows a little, press into your hands, round back, sit back to child's pose, and we'll do it one more time. Inhale, round up, come on through plank, press through a little push-up, strong arms, press back, and then just settle into child's pose for a little rest. And this is where you can kind of shimmy side to side a little bit. Take your hands around behind you by your heels, and just take a rest. You might want to circle out your wrists while you're back here. You might want to shake them out. You might want to take your hands to your lower back. Might want to just take your hands to the floor, or maybe up underneath by your shoulders. Just take a little rest here in whatever way feels comfortable for you to take a little rest from that cat bow sequence. A little upper body, little core strengthening today. And so we'll come back up, rise forward, and do a little side plank here. So as you come up into all fours, let's take your right leg out. So your right calf will just shift out to the side a little bit. It's like a kickstand. So the legs were parallel, but you're going to take one leg out to the side, straighten the other leg out behind you, and then rock the hips up. Let this opposite hand come up, and just allow yourself to be in a half plank here. Strengthening for your arms, lengthening for the body, strengthening for your core, because you got to hold your tummy in. If this doesn't suit you, you just go right back to child's pose, take a little rest, take a breath. If you want to go to full plank, you can come down again, take both legs out into plank, and then come on the side, if I can do it without sliding on my floor, and exhale down, come back down, come back to child's pose, take it down. So if you're a real plank lover and you want to hold that longer, be my guest, okay? So, and then we'll come back up, we'll do it on the other side. I'm going to turn around so I don't have my rear end going in your direction. So, yeah. So this time, you take the opposite, come on up to all fours, take the opposite leg out to the side. Opposite leg stretches out, and you're going to rock the hips up, draw your tummy in, open the chest and shoulders. Your top hip is rolled back, hips, foot's on the floor, reaching up. So you just take a little breath here. If you like your full plank, go into full plank, both legs straight. Take a breath. And exhale, come on down, take the knee in, press back to child's pose. And take a couple of breaths there. And come on back, round on up. We're going to tuck our toes under, come to downward facing dog just as a transition pose. So tuck your toes, press back, tread out your feet, take your blanket off the mat. And we're just going to tread one foot down, other foot down, both feet down. Allow yourself to be really light here. Just kind of walk your feet forward. Woo. And we're going to make our way up to standing. So as you're coming up to standing, let's take our feet about hip width apart. And maybe swivel over the left leg. You can bend your knees here, swivel over the right leg. And come back to center, just kind of maybe wag your tail a little bit here. And let the back of your head just completely release. The back of your neck is soft. We'll take our hands to our legs and just run the hands up, maybe massaging your knees a little bit as you come up. Feeling the legs, coming home to yourself, telling your body that you live here. I know I live in you and I appreciate you. You carry me all over the place. Been with me through thick and thin. And here we are. All in one piece, except I'm missing my head. So let's go this way. All right, maybe that's better. Okay, so coming on up to center, when you're stable, jangle it out a little bit. Just let it go, everything jangle. Now, some teachers say we do this for a whole minute. If I move on and you just like to go ahead and keep jangling, you just keep it up. Let your breath just move through it. Just let everything go. How does this feel in your body? Take a minute, settle in, and just let it go. Really important to check in and see what you feel like you need. If you need to stop, that's good too. And so we'll work our way into a little twirl. So we'll come back to center, get stable, and then let the arms fly. Just think, next week, I hope you'll be able to join us for reals in our live class. We will have to do this and not clobber each other. It's been a long time. We have to be careful. We don't be clobbering each other next week. And then make your way gently back to center. And as you allow your body to settle here, just take a moment to close your eyes if you can, or just soften your gaze. Take a breath. As you let it out, notice how your body feels. Where's the hum? Do you feel a hum of being alive? Do you feel a little excitement, maybe a little wake up in your limbs, a little energy moving through arms and legs? And then just soften your breath, come to an easy awareness of just being here. And just for fun, we'll do some thumps this morning. So taking your fingertips and thumping around your eye sockets. Take a breath. Good. And then we'll come to the collarbone and follow your collarbone down to where it meets the breastbone. We'll take a little thump there in the little divot. Take a breath here. Thump on the breastbone. Breathing there. And come underneath your breast on the ribs. Just give them some taps here. These are points that stimulate the lymphatic system. Breathe. And then we'll come under the arm about 4 inches down. Give yourself, just poke in a little bit. Give yourself a little massage, a little twirl there. Breathe. Good. And breath in. Shake it out. Let's do a little cleansing breath here where we breathe in and then blow it out, okay? So we'll what is this? Take your feet apart a little bit. And on your inhale, arms come up. On your exhale, just let it go. So notice how you're feeling. If you start to feel a little weird or woozy, just back off. A couple more times. Last time. Stop when you're down here. Just let your arms dangle. And we'll roll up nice and easy. Remember your breath. Keep breathing. And allow yourself to settle. Let your circulation come back. And when you get up here and you can start, let's just march. Maybe hands across if that feels good. We're going to get the right and left sides of the brain working together. And tap across if that works. Okay, so a couple more and we're done. So come to center once again. Stand, notice how you feel. Let the shoulders soften. Come to mountain pose. Soles of the feet resting in, maybe just kind of rock front to back a little bit. Toes lift, heels lift, just kind of play with that a little bit, and then come to rest right in the center of your feet where you feel stable. And think about little straws just sucking up energy through your bones, through your legs, muscles snuggle in a little bit as your tummy lifts, heart broadens, arms settle. Good. So here your ears are over the shoulders, crown of your head is lifting up. So as we did when we were sitting, we talked about being joined and balanced between the groundedness of your feet or the rootedness of your body. Balances and brings you stability with the liftedness of the top body, top part of your body. And you're suspended right there in center. So let's take hands to heart. Notice how it feels to gently press your hands into each other. Maybe that hello, hi there. You've been all the way over here. You've been all the way over there. Oh, here we are together, just gathering energy in center right to the heart. On your inhale, let's swoop the arms up. On your inhale, reach. Half sun salutation. Exhale, dive. As you dive forward, the tummy comes in. Maybe the knees bend a little bit. Forward fold. Run your hands down the backs of your legs. Next inhale, come up halfway. Pull your spine out long. Look ahead. Exhale, forward fold. And then as you inhale, you can bend your knees a little bit. Draw your tummy in and lengthen out through a flat back. Pull your arms up over your head. And then we'll float the arms down and swoop them back up to center. Take a moment, get yourself resituated. And when you're ready, on your inhale, let's inhale up. Exhale, long, luxurious swan dive forward. Run your hands down the backs of your legs if you like. Inhale halfway, hands can come to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, lift. Arms come up. And we're going to blossom the arms out. Feel the space. Float the arms down. Come to center. And then let your hands drop. Notice how you feel. Little internal landscape survey here. Get your inner binoculars out. Look around. Good. So we'll move into a little version of full sun salutation here. So I'm going to turn sideways on my mat to do this. So let's come to the top of your mat. If your mat's long this way, step to the top of your mat. There's always this little sense of kind of like savoring anticipation when you start a sun salutation, because you know you're coming to center so that you can breathe out and get the body doing things, just moving with the breath. So you're deliciously anticipating as you step to the end of your mat. So standing tall, just follow me, you can listen. On an inhale, we'll swoop up nice and big. That luxurious forward fold takes you forward. And you'll inhale, come up halfway. On your exhale, bend your knees a whole lot. Come down to all fours on your exhale. Your next inhale will take the left foot forward into your lunge. Exhale, shift forward into a deeper lunge. Inhale, press up, lift up through your heart. Take a little reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Take your hands back down to the floor. Bring the front foot back. And so you're coming to all fours. Inhale, looking up into cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale into table, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, the shoulders are neutral in your socket. Press into your finger pads and your knuckles. Tread out a little bit. Let the back of your neck be very soft and easy. Breathe. Press both heels down. On your next inhale, walk your feet toward your hands, hands toward your feet. Exhale down. And we'll add this. Inhale halfway, just to really get ready. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet. Swoop your arms up over your head, palms touch. Exhale, the hands float down by your side and then work their way back up to the heart. And then let your hands rest. Get a hold of yourself there and just think about where you've been. Take a breath, feel your body, and then we'll go to the other side. So let's take hands to the heart again. And remember that anticipation of that movement. But we're just settling in silence first, just gathering in. When you're ready, on your inhale, swooping up. Maybe take your gaze up. On your exhale, diving forward. Inhale, come up halfway. On your exhale, bend your knees a lot. Come down to all fours. Your next inhale will take your right foot ahead. Your exhale will shift you forward into a long lunge. Spine is long. Inhale, arms float up. Keep your spine lifted. Maybe take a little gaze up. Exhale, float down. Hands come down. And take your front foot back to meet the back so both knees are bent. All fours. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale, table, tuck your toes. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. So if you don't like down dog, just go to child's pose. You know you can do that. We're just going to explore down dog for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, walk your feet towards your hands and your hands back towards your feet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and swoop. Arms pull you up, nice and wide. Big wings, come up. Exhale, float your hands down by your side. And back to the heart. And this is where you relish that sense of stillness. Easy breath, coming home to yourself. Feet are grounded. Crown of your head lifting. And then we'll drop our hands by our side. And really settle. Notice how you feel. So let's step sideways on the mat now. We're just going to do a very simple little triangle. No, what am I doing? Doesn't really warrior two, triangle, right? So yes, my cheat sheet's right there. So let's take the legs out, step out nice and wide, and we'll turn one set of toes in, the other set of toes out. So notice what happens. Your hip wants to come back. So just kind of play with the stance of your feet so that you're comfortable, so that your hips can be parallel forward. So notice how the hips and the shoulders are lined up. Let's take our hands to our hips first. Notice I'm feeling like I have to gather in my pubic bone here a little bit. Let the tail just not tuck, but lengthen here so that my thighs can engage and roll open. The heart lifts, shoulders are broad. Take your hands to your hips and we'll just play with shifting. Press into that knee, press. Notice that that knee presses out in a way. It doesn't roll in, it presses out. Muscles are gathered in to give you that stability there. Good, so just press back and forth a little bit, play with it, see if you need to shift, see what's comfortable, what isn't. Shoulders are open here, okay? All right, so let's take our hands up, inhale up, exhale, and then float the arms out, take your gaze over your front fingertips. And then we'll inhale, lengthen that front leg, swoop your arms up, take your gaze toward me, hello? And then exhale. So allow it to be this wonderful blossoming, strengthening shift and pull apart. Inhale, gather together, lift up. Exhale, open. Gaze over your fingertips. One more time, take it up. Exhale out and stay. Take a couple of breaths. So you're strong in your belly, feet are stable, arms reaching from the heart out end to end and beyond. Gaze is way out there. Focus softly. And then straighten your front leg and we'll just stay here and reach way out. So now your gaze comes towards me. You're going to reach out. Top hand comes to your hip and pulls it back. Bottom hand keeps reaching. If you're up here, perfect. That's perfect. If you'd like, you can run your hand down. Don't want it on the knee, beyond the knee. Pressing out through the hip. Let the shoulders kind of roll back and open. And then if you like, releasing the top hand. So you have this kind of just broad-chested, twisting, pulling, turning, all kinds of stuff here. Breathe. Strong legs, strong belly. I'm notice that I'm collapsing here. I'm going to back up, lengthen my spine, press out. On your inhale, float up. Take the arms out. Float your hands down. Turn your toes in. Bend your knees a little bit and just swivel out the hips a little. Maybe the shoulders. Ha, ha, ha. Whatever feels good. Okay. Now we'll come back to center and go the other way. So the other set of toes come in, other set of toes go out. And once again, we're just going to settle in and see where we feel stable. Be mindful that the arches of your feet don't collapse inward. Stay stable on your feet. Let's just say that. I have really high arches. Sometimes they tend to just kind of want to sag inward, but I got to keep them up. So let's do the same thing where we press into the other knee, play with our stance, and make sure you're stable. Back and forth. This leg's pressing out. Legs are strong, pulling up and spiraling open as the hips are open, lifting the heart, open the chest. And then we'll come back to center. Take arms up. And on your exhale, float the arms out. Take your gaze over the front fingertips. And inhale, reach up. So you want to maintain the strength of your legs as you do this. You're not just plopping into your knee. You're really keeping the legs strong. Inhale, press up. Exhale, float out. One more time, press it up. Exhale, float out and stay. Take a couple of breaths. Find your inner warrior there. I did not say worrier. I want you to know that, okay? Your inner warrior. And then we're going to, on your inhale, lengthen your front leg, turn your chest toward me even more, reach way out, take the top hand to your hip, float that shoulder back, press out through the hip, top arm comes down so you can find your place where you want to come for a landing there, press out, take the top arm up. So you're really pulling it out, Pressing it out to the side, legs are strong. Breathe. Whoa. Pull it out, yes. And on your inhale, come on up. Other arm comes up, turn your toes in, and exhale out. Take your hands to the heart. Good, so let's gently walk your feet in and grab your chair if you have one. So this is a little standing forward fold with a twist. So let's see, maybe I'll go on the diagonal here a little bit. So we'll take you can take the chair right in front of you. Take a nice wide stance. Take your hands down to the chair. And the reason I'm having you have a chair, I'll do it sideways. Let's do this. So I have a nice wide stance, but notice that I'm not rounding here. I'm pressing out, so I have a long spine. You never want to twist a folded spine like that. So take your hands underneath your shoulders. We'll drop one arm down to the side. On your inhale, you're just going to reach up, take a little twist. So be mindful that the hip doesn't hike over to the side. You want the hip to stay level back here. You can even take your hand to your tailbone there or your lower back and keep it stable in center and just open up here. If you want to take your hand to the floor, that's fine too. And then exhale down. I'm just using this chair so we make sure we have long spines. Let the other hand drop out. Get yourself centered. On your inhale, just going to take it up. Follow it with your eyes. I'm going to take my hand around to my lower back to make sure I'm not hiking it up. It's in the center. So you want to draw the tummy in, have the tummy in. And exhale down when you're ready. And as you're here, just walk your feet toward one another. Come on up. Ease out. We'll take the chair off. And we'll just sit down. So make your way down to the mat. And let's see, where are we now? We're going to take our where are we? What are we going to do? My goodness. So let's go ahead and take our 2 blankets or towels. Is that it? Fold them up, and we're going to roll them up, one for each side of your mat. If you've done this before, you know we're going into, say, a cobbler's pose with soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. And this would say this is your thigh. You're going to rest your thighs on the blanket. So we have one rolled up on one side, and you have the other one rolled it up on the other side. And this is just for a little support. Let me fix this away. See, I've got my little Tootsie Rolls down here on either side. And we'll begin by sitting up tall. Sit up tall here. On your exhale, round back. Draw your tummy in. Rolling back. Bring your feet with you, knees. So we'll start by just kind of easing out here a little bit. And then plant the soles of your feet on the floor. Have your towels or blankets ready, and then you'll just drop your knees out to the side, soles of the feet snuggling into each other in center. And become aware of your spine here. Let your lower back really settle. If you feel that you are pinching in your lower back, maybe take your your feet away from you a little bit. And so if this height of your blanket or towel doesn't work, if it's still straining your inner thighs to let them open, you can take one of them and fold it in half again if this works. We'll see. Make it like this so that it's a little higher. Just kind of shove it under there so that it fits and gives you some support. Now, you can take your chest, your arms nice and wide, just opening the chest here. Maybe make goalpost arms if that feels good. But making sure that you're in a place where your shoulders don't feel strained. And everything is just softening. So take a minute to settle in, make any adjustments that you need to become comfy there. So we talked about how God sees us. God knows us. I'm going to share with you some scriptures here about that, about being known. And it's Psalm 139, 1 through 5. So as you rest here, I invite you to take this in. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. You hem me in behind and before. You have laid your hand upon me. So as you rest here in your little Baddha Konasana, just know that every cell in your body is known. I'm going to share with you a little bit more about that. I love this part from the same Psalm 139. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before they came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. Search me and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting. You are seen, you are known. I'm going to move on from here and just let you stay right where you are and know that you are loved. Seen, known, loved. So many scriptures about that. And as you rest here, just breathe, find your breath. Easy breath. Maybe you can think about just opening your heart here, breathing in that love of God from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, into every cell of your body. In the book of Exodus, God tells Moses that he is slow to anger and abounding in love, sending love and faithfulness to all generations. That's what God tells Moses about God's self. In the book of Psalms, we're told, his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His steadfast love endures forever. In the book of Isaiah, we're told, he says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have called you, and you are mine. See, you are engraved in the palm of my hand. Though a mother forget her baby, I will never forget you. And we know how hard it is for mothers to forget their babies. God promises that just as a mother would not forget her baby, he will never forget us. Because he is mother, he is father, he is that parent who holds us, loves us, sees us, knows us. How does it feel to be seen, known, and loved today? Take a breath. And then let's gently draw the knees together in center. We'll rock out the knees side to side a little bit. Let's draw our knees into our chest, and we'll just leave your blankets right there next to you. And just do a little twist here. So let's draw the knees in. Flex your feet there. And on your exhale, just settle the knees over so that your feet can rest, or the thighs can rest on that blanket. And you just have a supported little twist here. We're just going to take a moment, take a deep breath there. Let your gaze turn over your left shoulder. And take a breath here, and as you exhale, just let it all out. Let it go. Let everything go. Let your feet relax. Knees, hips, belly. And then inhaling through center, we'll draw the knees up. On your exhale, go the other way and allow your legs to settle on the blanket on the other side. Just move it around till you find a supportive position. Allow the arms to settle again, let your hips to settle. And maybe your gaze will go over the right shoulder this time. And just breathing here, resting. Soften your shoulders, maybe stretching out through your hands, moving your feet, whatever feels good here, but just really sipping in a big deep breath and allowing your body to settle on your exhale. Allow your face to begin to soften here. And then on your inhale, let's draw our knees back to center, and we'll plant the soles of the feet on the mat. Realign your spine so you're nice and centered there. We're going to move into Shavasana. So if you need to grab a blanket or pillow or something for underneath your head or your feet, go ahead and do that. We'll stretch out one leg, other leg. Arms come up over your head and reach. And then I'm just sitting up so I can talk to you here and you can settle in. And we'll be moving into an awareness of being held. So as you rest here, as you can feel the floor come up to support your body, the back of your head, your shoulders, your hips and your legs, your back, backs of your heels, just know that you are held. Know that you're held in safety so that your belly can soften and your body can rest. And I'll read to you first from Deuteronomy 33, verse 27. Where God says to us, "The eternal God is your refuge. Underneath are the everlasting arms." Can you feel that this morning? Can you feel those everlasting arms underneath your body, supporting you, maybe rocking, maybe singing to you a little bit this morning, just cuddling you and holding you like a sweet child, which is what you are, sweet child. And as you're there, I'll go from being a child to growing older in Isaiah 46, chapter 4. I've always loved this, even when I was a teenager. I remember reading this and thinking about how precious it is. Isaiah 46, beginning with verse 3. "Listen to me, O house of Jacob, all you who remain of the house of Israel, you whom I have upheld since you were conceived and carried since your birth. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Even to old age and gray hairs, we are held and carried, sustained, and rescued." So I invite you just to take a moment and rest in those thoughts, in that feeling. How does that feel for you today? Can you rest in that? Maybe it's something you've never thought of, but just let it be. Let it wash over you. Come back to an easy breath and just rest here. And now gently coming back to an awareness of yourself resting. Oh, if you'd like, begin to move fingers and toes and stretching out, maybe drawing your knees to your chest if you'd like, and just rocking out your back a little bit. And then rocking onto one side, taking a moment to settle. And when you're ready, pressing yourself slowly up to sitting. And as we make our way to sitting, becoming aware once again of that groundedness. We are grounded in God's presence. Just being here, maybe taking hands to heart. Coming to a very soft, easy breath. Lord God, we give you thanks, Creator God, the one who sees us, knows us, loves us, and holds us. You've told us that the church, your people, is your bride. The church is the bride of Christ. And just as at a wedding, there are vows to see, to know, to love, to have, and to hold forever, so you have promised to us, your bride. And we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your guidance, your example, your love. And we pray that we could open our hearts to you, Lord, to receive that love that you have for us that manifests in so many beautiful ways, internally, externally, creation, your presence, that we might love you back as your bride with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our mind, and with all of our bodies, our strength. And with that, to love our neighbors as ourselves, with your help. In Christ's name, amen. Thank you all for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you next week, and those of us remotely when we get back to Zoom. Thank you so much. Shalom.